Truthfully, I think my mom really does. She's always been my role model for everything. She's a woman that, you know, has to work hard for everything that she gives to herself and her family, and I just want to aspire to be someone like her who's always really worked hard with everything she's ever done, and, you know, still has time to make sure there's love and good into what she does, and that she doesn't seem so rushed, and it just seems so graceful about it. And I want to be someone like her and be able to do something like that. Last year I went out for a Tomodachi leadership program, and it was a program where high school students could, you know, apply to go to Japan for a leadership conference there for 2 weeks. And I felt I felt really proud of that, that I even applied for it, because I had someone that was kind of walking me through it, and they said, you know, freshmen, you know, never get in, and, you know, and though yes, I didn't even get in, but, you know, I felt really proud that, you know, even after he said that, I was like, you know, I'm going to go for it, and even if I don't get in, I'll keep going for it every single year. I mean, I just applied for it again this year, so good luck with that. When I first joined Key Club, I didn't really know what it was. As soon as I got out of middle school, I was like, I'm going to join Knowledgeable, because I did that all 3 years throughout middle school. But when I got into Key Club, what I really wanted to do was, you know, find a way to help people, but also be doing something that would look good on applications. Like, you know, almost kind of win-win, but it's like, it's an amazing feeling when you see someone who has less than you, and they're smiling and they're happy. And I just want to be able to give that to someone every single year. Something I believed in. I one time stood up to someone who was making fun of Muslims and other religions, and it's not so much just because of what their religion was, but it's just the way they were talking about them. It really, you know, ticked me off, because, you know, people aren't born bad, but they just seem like everybody from that race and culture are horrible people, and it just made me so mad that I almost, you know, getting red-faced and almost yelling at them, trying to stand up for them as they were backfiring at me, trying to say, you know, like, well, this and this, and just, you know, and I hope the outcome was that you know, they didn't become such a bigot at the end. You know, they saw more after what I told them, because what they were saying wasn't the truth, whether they thought it or not. Especially after The Kite Runner, I really hope after reading that book that everyone realized that Afghanistan and countries like that weren't always like that. They were, you know, just like the United States. They went out to see movies, to go eat, go having sporting events. They did stuff like that. Women got education. It made me so mad that, you know, people thought it was always just terrorism and beheading. Well, you know, they always talk about like the no judgment zone, but we all know that's fake. You know, everyone judges everyone. I mean, the other day I saw a little 5-year-old just go like this to an older student, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But I think the first thing to make it like a climate for someone to be themselves is for them to accept that people will judge them. You know, don't be afraid that, you know, someone's going to judge you for what you wear, what hobbies you have. If you just ignore that, you can go on to your life. You always think like, I'm not going to see these people after high school, until like high school reunions. You're not going to see them. When you get to college, everyone's doing their own thing. I think you got to think of the future and what you really want for yourself. And the people who do judge you and say something, don't care about them. They don't matter. I mean, I'm probably biased on this. I think we need to stop putting so much emphasis on the sports. I think a lot of kids, especially like some of my friends, they feel sometimes left out when it comes to, you know, if they don't do a sport, you know, they're not part of the Ian spirit. If they don't go to sporting events, they're not a team player. It's just like, it's just not their forte. So, and I think it's very unfair that, you know, teachers and, you know, our district are so, you know, infused about sports. But, you know, what about the students who won an art contest or, you know, have done 100 hours of community service? Why aren't they getting any recognition? It's just about sports. So I think what we need to do is just kind of go back a little on the sports. I mean, it's great and it's a lot of fun to watch every once in a while, but it's just not fair to those who don't play. I guess I'm taking a Japanese class at UNC, so that's pretty cool, I think. That, and I'm obsessed with pugs. I really love pugs. Just really keep up on things. Like, I get procrastination is just basically a life thing in high school, but it's a whole nother level from middle school. You know, you don't have teachers that are constantly with you saying, make sure you have this, make sure you have this, make sure you have this, don't forget this. It's completely different from middle school, and what you'll need is definitely to have like a planner or just a plan in your mind of what everything you need to do. Think throughout your day of what things you have to do and what stuff you have to, you know, accomplish to get to your goals. I think that was probably the most important thing for me.